Hey everybody, Speedy here at Banu Studio Inks. Back to conclude this subject on Tales from the Drafting Table of the Wolverine montage. It's time to do the critiques and assessments and wrap up this portion of the subject so that I can make ready for the next subject, which will be coming out on Thursday. Alrighty, episode 20, let's get it concluded. Let's get started, shall we? Alright, well, now we're at the assessment stage. I've already done a little write-up on it. Um, this is pretty good right here. Like problems I've mentioned in the last episode about its color not being quite right. Or is it just too much orange, red, and yellow in the overall montage? But I like overall how it went. Here's an area right here, though. Definitely made a mistake. Or I could say that it's got some distortions here, some corrections that need to be made right here. In general, this one can just be done better. Also, after having a chance to take a look at this and evaluate this, look at how the suit, it all becomes kind of monotone and flat, and I don't like that. And for a final, I definitely don't want that to be the results. So, like the background I wanted in here, I want it to be a kind of misty, kind of almost a smoky, historical view, possibly even with this old castle back here in the distance, and some nature and some of the Japanese cherry trees and cherry blossoms, things like that. Certain details, certain areas that I think would be really important to have in, like this section in here, would be a lot better if it was larger. And overall, a lot of this would be better if it was larger. Probably going to move this. Probably this needs to be moved. My alarm's gone off. Give a second. Okay, so back to the assessment. Yeah, a lot of details got muddied in doing it in color pencil, but I mean, this is a draft, so I was aware that that was going to happen. This was more about, number one, seeing how all the colors of the individual pieces that I chose related to each other and where their best spatial place would be. I want this side of it to have like the traditional, like Japanese background, and I want this side to have the like more modern, so like traditional trad background, modern. So yeah, I want like cop cars and street lights and those kind of things. I still want the tower to be central. In a way, I kind of want it to feel like it has more depth. Like components like him and this stuff going on here is behind it. Some of the stuff going on here, I want it to feel like it's behind it. I want the tower to feel like it's coming forward. So watercolor is not going to end up being the best medium to choose for this. And it's not really because of my inability to use it to create depth. It's more about I can get more physical depth if I choose a more traditional or a more solid painting medium. And considering this is something I'm going to keep long term in my studio, I've changed my mind again, and I'm going to do a mixed media painting that's using certain build-up techniques and textures and so forth. Some of the things that initially in the idea were great was that, his two different love interests, which is her, and then her, which I didn't even put her in here. I didn't find a good place for her. My idea was she was going to be a part of the whole city life thing, and then be him walking around drunk with her and those kind of things. And I wanted to have like the bodies of the ninjas and everything. So, again, watercolor, it is possible to get like solids and also soft fluid look to things. But in terms of things like a buildup of actual texture, not so much. Not so much. The weight of doing it warps the paper and making it not really a good choice. And so I've decided to move in a direction where I'm going to have canvas. I'm going to be putting it on canvas. Canvas will be able to hold up to me building up certain things. Like I literally want these bricks that are a part of the castle. I want them to feel physical. I'd have to show other paintings of mine to make that part like clear, But then there's just other areas where if I put it on canvas, I can enlarge it. I plan on just enlarging it because I think that it needs it, And I'm probably, because I'm enlarging it, going to move things around. Like, I want to make this and this the same size as this and this. Now, this and this and this, great. These are all good sizes. That's great. I want to get this right here closer to either this or this, Now down all in here is more of the castle background. Also, things like this, I can pull off this in watercolor really well, but I would do even better if I go for traditional painting, because again, it becomes about being able to texture things and use a medium to build it up, and I can build it up in a way where it won't cause stress on the canvas nor stress on the material. But also, by maybe doing it in something like acrylic or a mix of acrylic and oil, I don't know yet, but most likely just acrylic, I can take acrylic and use watercolor techniques with it, but also simultaneously use more solid techniques and, like I said, build up the material. In watercolor, you kind of don't want to build up material because, like I said, it will warp the paper, it'll crack from drying. There's just a lot of reasons to not do build up with watercolor. Although I will say this, there are methods and techniques and ways which requires me to build a paper press and mill my own custom papers. And believe me, I considered it. And as much as I love Wolverine in this montage, and I love Wolverine in general, I don't love him so much to actually go to the expense of building specialized equipment to custom make my own paper and build up the paper material that way for making this appear three-dimensional. And I actually think it would still impact the paper, and archive quality would be lessened. So where the ultimate home of this is going to be, it's going on canvas. It's going on canvas. It's going to be enlarged. The other reason I've decided on canvas is I can get that gritty, dark, nor rough look that belongs to Wolverine. Now there's places here like this. I knew it going into this when I was doing it in color pencil that I actually was just trying to replicate some kind of blonde wood paneling mixed with teak. And I wasn't in too much of a hurry to get the color that accurate. The lines in it and everything kind of remind me visually of what it's supposed to be. And sometimes color study works that way, It's more of a visual reminder or a visual cue of what I want than it is intended to really look like it. And then there's places like this. Way too heavy. Way too heavy. I think it needs to be down in the action, down in the angry parts. Maybe down here, we got all the ninjas and it can go in the place of him. Something like that. So I'm definitely going to maneuver things around. I'm going to do it on a larger material. And the things I'm most excited about for when I put it on canvas are going to be him. He's going to be so much fun to do. He's going to be fun. He's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be pretty awesome. And there's things like this and this that I can enhance. I can do more with, especially in terms of giving them depth. I'm very excited about that. And also the backgrounds, the cityscape versus the traditional landscape and everything. I can also do some really astounding things with it and tap into my more fine art skills that wouldn't have even been represented in the comic. So, well, anyway, I think we did a good job on what this color study was supposed to do for me. I feel really good about the way the montage went. And it really was intended for me to use it to help me format Tales from the Drafting Table. And I do have that honed in now and ready to move on to my next subject. This, you will get to watch this final get executed in a series I call For the Love of Execution. That's got a lot of interesting components in it, but one of those components is my version of Bob Ross and me taking you through my method and process. It will all be sped up and it will all be concluded in a single episode. I begin the filming process for this part of it tomorrow. I got a lot of things scheduled in. I got a lot of components that actually go to that series that I also need to continue developing. Yeah. Ninjas. Ninja pile. The name. I'm not 100% still on the name. Like what color. I mean, when I go to paint it, I'm going to paint it a lot more realistic. Because of that, having this be orange and yellow, red and yellow, may end up being okay because more nuance of the colors of the overall will be able to be achieved. And so therefore I won't need to have it be so monochrome the way it comes out in the color pencil version of it. Yeah. Alright, this concludes episode 20 of Tales from the Drafting Table, and this is the final critique on the first subject of the series, which was to this Wolverine montage. And as I mentioned in the video, kind of had a change of venue, medium, if you will, that I decided to put this in. But I feel like the story behind it's very justified. The vision I have now after critiquing and looking at the work, it fits. So on Thursday, on the next subject on Tales from the Drafting Table, on episode 21, will be me beginning the drafting process for my tribute to Aristotle and Plato. Surprisingly enough, that one could end up being watercolor. I don't try to control my vision until it's time to bring it into action. This first subject, the Wolverine montage, it's going to be produced on a series called For the Love of Execution. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I hope you manifest all the awesome things you want in your life. Okay, Speedy out. See you next episode. Bye, guys.